thousands of Midianite army tents were encamped across the valley of Israel, threatening the existence of the Jewish people. Throughout our long history, we have faced many threats and constant dangers. The survival of the Jewish people has depended on leaders who were willing to fight to preserve Jewish values and traditions. We, a class of young Jewish people, have chosen to take on this responsibility to be active Jewish leaders. Every day is another day in which we strive to fulfill this responsibility with intent action.
Many members of our class are at the forefront of leadership. In our very own SDJA community, we have leaders in yearbook, in journalism, in ASB, on the field, and in the classroom. In yearbook, the senior class editors-in-chiefs decided to divide their job into two positions to allow for wider ranges of functionality and creativity, a change never before seen in yearbook. In journalism, the senior editor revolutionized her position by not only editing and directing, but also writing her own articles and helping others transition into new roles. In ASB, seniors implemented radically different week-long homecoming festivities, leading to a significant increase in spirit and participation in the school's events. On the field and on the court, the leadership of senior athletes went far beyond the obligation of their sports. It seeped into everyday life, creating more personal relationships between captains and teammates. And don't even get me started on the amazing work in the classroom that has led to so many great college acceptances. All of these leaders inherited a variety of traditions, but were not afraid to change, improve, and innovate for a better future.
More than just in school, we have become leaders in our greater Jewish community. Israeli members of our grade saw a lack of Israeli pride in San Diego, so they took part in the founding of an Israeli youth group, Sofim, creating a core infrastructure for its future generations. We saw a need for summer camp experience for children with special needs in San Diego. Instead of seeking an organization to do this in, we created one, Camp Let Loose, which has been growing in San Diego and in other cities for 3 years. Many of us saw a disconnect between international and American students at school, so we joined together and created a program that would facilitate the growth of these relationships. The International Immersion Program has been growing for 2 years now, and we're now proud to say it is an official school program. Seeing a lack of Israel education classes at school, we joined together, made a petition, wrote a curriculum, and created the first normal and honors Israel education classes ever offered at SDJA. When we didn't see an infrastructure to build in, we created one. When we didn't see an avenue to exercise our leadership pursuits, we paved one. We have left a lasting path for those behind us to follow, to be a part of, and to build off of.
The most significant leadership pursuit that we have achieved as a unified grade was creating the Senior Trip Endowment Fund. To solve the problem that seniors have every year for fundraising the Poland and Israel trip, our class formed a lasting solution. With the assistance of parents who helped design the project, we went out into the community to raise financial backing to support those in our grade who needed it. With the establishment of relationships with many leaders throughout the community, future classes will be able to approach them as we did and successfully reach their financial goals. Even more importantly, the infrastructure we created will derive future grades towards experiencing the same synergetic leadership we found useful. In addition, we have formed an endowment fund for future SDJA classes to assist them in meeting their financial goals for future Poland-Israel trips.
What makes our leadership grounded through Jewish values is that we all have taken initiative. So what do the thousands of Midianite army tents in the middle of Israel have to do with this? When the Jewish people needed a leader, someone stepped up. Gideon led a small army of 300 Jewish people against 135,000 Midianites. During his improbable victory, he led his Jewish people by saying, "Tar'u v'ken ta'asu." Look at me and do as I do.
We have taken this value to heart. Every pursuit we take on, we do with the utmost strength, confidence, and passion, and we do our very best to be examples to all those who look up to us. In college, we will continue on this path of Jewish leadership. Today, when the Jewish people need a leader, we know that all 38 of us will rise to the challenge. We are confident that no matter where we are in our futures, we will be at the forefront of what we are doing, no matter what it is, and will do it with all our heart and soul. We will be the ones creating new organizations. We will be the ones leading community service efforts. We will be the ones defending Israel. We will be the ones making change.